Haiti Biz News Show, Monday to Friday, bringing you news that's going to keep you informed, engaged, and reacting in the most optimal way for your business investment, entrepreneurial activity. Today is the 5th of July. Let's talk about it, right? Yesterday, of course, was 4th of July, so big hats off to my audience in the States. Happy 4th. Hope folks didn't get too heavy with burgers and hot dogs and all that, right? And are ready for a new day, right? Not only your typical 9 to 5, but also thinking entrepreneurially, how can we engage in Haiti? So when we have our independence, we can enjoy it in the same sort of ambiance and richness, right? Of course, yesterday I did drop brand new video. I did drop a brand new video, Farmar Tricks. It's a pharmaceutical company out here in Haiti, and they are doing fantastic work out in downtown Port-au-Prince, and we provide a full behind the scenes of what they're doing from their plant to their sales office, and then a one-on-one with Ralph Edmond, the CEO and co-founder. And so please, if you haven't watched that video yet and you really want to understand, how it looks like, how a real Haitian company looks like that is, past the middle stage, entering just the next level, right? Do check that video out. Definitely one of my favorites, right? So we have a couple of different news stories we want to talk about today, and we'll try to knock them out real quick. We have some protests planned throughout. A call of mobilization called for a good amount of the metropolitan area from the 5th, 6th, and 7th, which is today, tomorrow, and Sunday. And the reason for it, of course, we still have a massive issue with corruption and the Petro Caribe funds and nothing happening yet. No prosecution has occurred. There's been continuing investigations. And so they're still trying to mobilize for that. And of course, other issues, real issues affecting the, conditions of living in Haiti, right? From lower good to wages being stagnant, job opportunities, the list goes on, right? And so they're calling for mobilization. And the thing that really folks should take notice is that there's been a call to really focus the protests near the airport, to the point where potentially the airport may be shut down. Haitian authorities have said, they're going to do everything they can to allow free flow of movement from the airport. But you should be aware, if you're planning to travel in or out of the country, that might be something you want to try to work and strategize around and against. My sources on the ground have told me that because this week is state and school exam week, that potentially there won't be as much mobilization as expected. But again, we'll see. I know there was calls for even last weekend for some mobilization. We didn't see anything. So we'll see. We'll follow it closely. And of course, as much as you guys have context on the ground, follow that information closely. Okay. Now, additionally, next news story is the Caribbean Caricom. Caricom is holding a summit for all its 15 members, Haiti is included. And a big component of what they're trying to do is bring about a single economic market where goods can flow openly. They're trying to build a framework. Think about the European Union, or even what NAFTA was before it got scrapped, for the new plan, which is gonna allow the entire Caricom to be in effect just one market. It's been more or less approved for as something that's going to happen, but there still hasn't been agreement on implementation, right? How does it look? The oversight body, if there's disputes on fair practices, where do we go? How do we, improve our vote laws? And a lot of the things are still being worked on. And so this summit is supposed to be a very important step forward in that direction in terms of getting things implemented and how it's going to be implemented. And of course, most importantly, there's a question mark on Haiti and Venezuela's participation. Rightly so, because with Haiti's case, we know Haiti's far from a functioning state on many levels. And and rightly so, there's a big question mark on Haiti's involvement because Haiti doesn't really have the apparatus, the government apparatus, to properly pass laws or even enforce the laws that are passed, right? So how can one participate in a single market economy when the regulatory bodies are weak, the government oversight is weak, the ability to pass laws are weak, and so rightly so, Caricom is looking at Haiti like, yeah, we want to do this, but we don't really trust Haiti because, again, who's to say the goods are coming in through Haiti are actually sourced and originated, even though there are policies in place. There's still too many question marks in Haiti's capacity to actually execute what's agreed upon consistently across multiple administrations, right? In Venezuela, given the fact that the U.S. is in effect has had a pseudo war with them, and Caricom has in the past already expressed that they have concerns over the legitimacy of the current government in terms of the full elections that have been done and executed there, and so those two are up in the air. For Jovenel's case, he's directly participating in the summit, and so we'll certainly be on the eye in terms of updates and what comes out of that participation, and of course Haiti's ultimate involvement in this single market economy. Because I can tell you, this is going to be, if possible, if passed, and Haiti's included, this may be a very big game changer for a lot of the middle income firms. And because it opens up the market to not just Haiti, but then you can, with a lot more ease, be able to do business in other countries while one is in Haiti, right? So we're keeping a very close eye on that, and hopefully that does happen. Final news is $55 million from the IDB to several government bodies, government ministries, departments. The list of those who are receiving a part of this $55 million, the Ministry of Economy and Finance, Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Office and Resource Management, the Ministry of Public Works, Ministry of Communication, and the Superior Courts of Accounts, which is sort of the auditing of the government. And primarily what they're looking to do here, they're looking to improve customer computer systems. So this money is going to go to buying not only better computers across these departments, but also software to help run them, manage them, and improve efficiency. And also a component of biometric registry, so folks can punch in, punch out. There's a big issue of ghost checks happening, and that should help considerably in terms of abating that situation. And there's some other things that are part of this. For example, with the Superior Court of Accounts, they're going to help with procedural issues and helping alleviate some of the processes in place, right? And putting money behind that. Okay. So, and what's interesting about it, again, it's a donation, i.e. that it doesn't have to be paid back, right? Which is big. Okay. But I my question mark, of course, is, given Haiti's track record of how they spend their money, I question this. But again, if IDB themselves are buying the computers and then providing it to the government, I think there's less opportunity for dollars moving away, shifting away. And I think the IDB and all these organizations now have a very much hands-on role in terms of how what they provide is spent because of Haiti's track record. And especially if it's a U.S. institution, they work very closely to make sure, okay, I gave you $1, where that dollar went. And so I'm confident that the vast brunt of this is going to go where it's intended. And certainly, having only recently, just last week, had to do some government work for registering a vehicle, seeing firsthand how just one center has no real connection with the other center, right? Because everything's papers, which is a problem in the year 2019. And so as much as we can move towards being more electronic in how we administer, things here in this country, the better off we are going to be. Okay, so I'm all for this, and certainly we'll keep an eye on this particular, how this is executed, and we'll do a follow up once we hear or once we can see some improvements in that perspective. Right. So that's the news stories for today. Certainly, things that we have to be aware of, and so next week I will be won't be in the studio here. I am still trying to figure out logistically how to make sure that Haiti Biz News Show still happens, and of course I am trying to do a little sort of meet and greet. I'll be in South Florida, so look out for that. Follow me on Facebook. I'll drop some information on that and how to get that done. Okay. And yeah, of course, if you like what we're doing here, you already know, give us that subscribe, give us that notification, right? Give us that like, give us that share, right? And we'll be back at it again. We're back at it again.